Hi friends, good evening. Now let's start the second session on time and distance. In the previous session we had one video on time and distance where we have discussed basic points there. What we have discussed in the previous video, what is time, distance, speed relation, one point I have discussed. Then the next one, what is average speed and how to calculate average speed in different cases. Then what is the relative speed. We talked about relative speed also, how to go for relative speed when objects are in the opposite direction, then objects are in the same direction. Now let us go for 3 questions in this video. Alright, these questions are very basic level questions. Basic in the sense, like questions are good questions. A student who starts this chapter can understand this very easily with the help of the concept as well as shortcut. Now see the problem, this problem we will do first, then followed by this, then followed by this. Now just listen to the problem first. The problem they have given in this way. 2 trains A and B started from 2 different stations X and Y, connected on a railroad at the same time with 50 and 60 kilometers per hour respectively. It was observed that one train travelled 120 kilometers more than the other at the time of their meeting. What is the distance between 2 stations is the question, right? Actually, this question has been taken from SSC, Staff Selection Commission examination. Alright, now before starting the question, I generally I ask the students to get hold on the question. What exactly they have given and what is to be found out. What they have given here. From the question, it is very clear that point number 1, both started at the same time and both stopped at the same time only. Means what does it mean? Both the vehicles, both the trains travelled for the same distance. This is one thing. Alright. Then after that, travelled for the, I'm sorry, not the distance, travelled for the same time. Both travelled for the same time. That is one thing. Then the next one is that speeds are different, 50 and 60. When both started at the same time, stopped at the same time, means travelled for the same time with the different speeds, definitely there will be difference in the distance covered by 2 respectively. For that reason only they have given the difference is 120 kilometers, right? Means the distance travelled by one train is less than the distance travelled by the other one by 120 or more than 120 in the other way. If that is the case, what is the distance between 2 stations? To go for this one, the clue is distance. Distance is the clue. Suppose if you take distance 1, right? Distance 1 minus distance 2 should be equal to 120. Distance 1 minus distance 2 means I have taken this one greater than this. So distance 1 is the distance covered by the train which is going with more speed and this is the less speed. Alright, then if you can, means this is the mathematical way of doing this one. I will show you with one step how to go for this one, a fantastic shortcut for this. But before going for the shortcut, first learn the concept in a proper way. So mathematical way, using pure mathematics, algebra, we can do in this way. Distance 1 minus distance 2 should be equal to 120. How to equalize this one? Take anything as variable here. It is easy to take time as the variable. Both travel for the same time. I am taking here time as x. If time is x, distance travelled by one train, I am taking this one as 60 into x. Distance travelled by the other train minus 50 into x should be equal to 120. Alright, just solve the equation. 10x is equal to 120 and obviously x is equal to 12. What do you mean by x is equal to 12? Both travelled for 12 hours. Means overall time taken for both is 12 hours here. Alright, so when time is 12 hours, right? What is the speed of these trains? If you go by the speed of the trains, one is at 50 kilometers, other is at 60 kilometers per hour. Both are travelling in the opposite direction. Means add up the speeds. Total speed is 50 plus 60. I am writing here, that is 50 plus 60, that is 110 kilometers per hour. Means in this question, in this transaction, both the trains speed is this one, 110 kilometers per hour, the vehicle speed, both together traveled for 12 hours. Then what is the total distance traveled is 110 into, this is the speed into, and this is the time. And you will get 12 11s, 132, 1320 kilometers is the answer. Alright. If anybody has not understood this, why is this 110? Because both are traveling towards each other, opposite direction. So total speed is this much, total time is this much. Speed into time, I can find out the distance here. Then we can crack the question using pure mathematics in this way. But observe friends, actually in competitive exams, you need not go in this way. We will go by a shortcut, a fantastic shortcut I'll give you now. But try to understand this one first. Anyway, now the shortcut is, here in the previous video, in the last video, I've given you very clearly to understand the relationship among distance, speed and time. I've given you 2 points. Speed and time are inversely proportional to each other. And distance and speed are directly proportional to each other when time is a constant. We discussed this one in the previous video, right? If anybody has not understood this one, just go through the previous video. Now, I'm going to use this shortcut now. I'm going to take this relationship now to go for this question. Simply you see, here in this question, time is constant. Constant in the sense, both the vehicles have traveled for the same time. Then why shouldn't we use this one? I use in this way. When the time is constant, simply I can say distance is directly proportional to speed when time is constant. In this case, time is constant. So, speed ratio here, speed ratio is 50:60 or 5:6. Alright. When time is constant, speed ratio can be taken as a distance ratio also. Both are same. Now, distance ratio of two trains is, if you take this one as train 1 is to train 2, the distance ratio is also 5:6. Observe this one, it's a very good shortcut, right? Speed ratio is equal to distance ratio because time is constant. Now, 5:6. What do you mean by distance ratio 5:6 between two trains? If first train travels for 5 kilometers, second train should travel for 6 kilometers. Alright, means what does it mean? The difference between these two is 1. I am going to use the unitary method here. What is the unitary method here? Here, when the difference is 1 between the distance travelled by two trains, when the difference is 1 kilometer, let us take it as kilometer, both together have travelled for 5 plus 6, 11 kilometers. Alright, why I am taking both together travelled? Because one train started from here, from this point, other one started from here. When they meet each other, some difference they have shown. So now the total distance is equal to distance travelled by this train plus distance travelled by this train. For that reason I am taking in this way. When the difference is 1 kilometer, both together travelled for 11 kilometers. When the difference is in the question 120 kilometers, right? I am using unitary method here. When the difference is 120 kilometers, what is the total distance travelled by both together? Now here that is 120 by 1 into 11 or 120 into 11. Straight away my answer is 1320 kilometers. Alright. Right, it took this much time for me to explain you, but if you do this one in a proper manner, maximum time for this question is 20 seconds. In 20 seconds you can go for this one, right? What is the technique here? When speed and when time is constant, distance and speed can be equalized. Speed ratio is 5:6, distance ratio is 5:6. What happens in this case? When the difference is 1, both travel for 11. Difference is 120, both travel for how many kilometers? Both travels for 1320. 1320 means from here to here and here to here. The distance between two stations is 1320. Hope you understood this one, right? This is the way to do the questions in any competitive exam. But observe here, to know this technique, you should have complete understanding on time, speed and distance. For that reason only, I always suggest my students to learn the concept first. After that, automatically shortcuts can be fabricated by you only, right? Don't go by only shortcuts. If you go by only shortcuts, you cannot get success in competitive exams which are conducted. Recent competitive means nowadays they are asking questions based on concept. Remember this one. Alright, now we'll go for another question. Let us take up this question now. This question says, if a person goes with 50 kilometers per hour, he reaches his office from his home 6 minutes late. If he increases his speed by 10 kilometers per hour, he can reach 6 minutes early. What is the distance from his home to office? This is another question, most commonly asked question in many competitive exams, right? There is a concept in this one. First learn the concept, then we will do the question with one step only. In one step, using the unitary method you can do, or direct formula is there. But before going for these two, I suggest you to go by the concept first. What is the concept in this one? Read the question one more time, right? Just read the question. By the time I clean this one, just read that. Alright, here a person goes with 50 kilometers per hour. If he goes with that speed, he reaches his office from his home 6 minutes late. Increase his speed by 10 kilometers per hour, he can reach 6 minutes too early. What is the distance between home and office? In this case, you need to assume that in both the cases he is using the same route. Let us go in this way. Alright, so now the concept is here. We need to find out what is the distance, right? If you go mathematically, we can do in this way. Take the distance as x kilometers. Alright, here they have shown the difference in timing there. In first case, he was 6 minutes late. In the second case, he was 6 minutes too early. What is the difference between these two? Alright, difference between these two, the difference of timings you have to take, right? So difference of timing is in this way. Suppose this is the actual time, right? In the first case, he was 6 minutes late, 6 minutes late. And in the second case, he was 6 minutes early. Now the difference between two timings is this 6 plus this 6, total 12. Understood this one? Some students are not able to understand this one, right? Actual time, 6 minutes late, 6 minutes early, the difference is 12 minutes. If you have not understood this, if any student not understood this one, I'll take some figures and explain you so that you can easily understand. Let us take in this way, the regular timing of office is, let us take one time, 9 o'clock. Alright, if he goes with 50 kilometers per hour, he is 6 minutes late. What do you mean by 6 minutes later? He can reach the office, or he reaches the office 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock, 6 minutes, 9:06. Okay. If he increases his speed, he can reach the office 6 minutes too early. 6 minutes too early means before 9 o'clock. 6 minutes before 9 o'clock. Now it should be 9 minus 6 minutes, 8:54. Alright. It was 6 minutes late if it is usual time. 6 minutes early. What is the difference between these two timings here? The difference is 6 minutes here, 6 minutes here, total 12 minutes. Understood this? Alright, this is the way to learn the basics. Over. Now, I need to show the difference in timing because I am going with the pure mathematical method, taking algebra. I need to frame one equation now. What should be the equation in this case? Here, time 1 minus time 2 should be equal to the difference of timings 6 plus 6, so that is 12 minutes. This is what I want to show. Now here, since I have taken this one as x, time 1 should be more than time 2. When the time is more, speed is less, time is more, because speed and time are inversely proportional to each other. Now clearly, less speed you take, that is 50 kilometers per hour, right? Distance by speed. This is more time than this one, minus distance by, increased his speed by 6 minutes, increased his speed by 10 kilometers per hour. So it is 50, it should be 60. X minus x divided by 50 minus x by 60, distance by speed, time 1 minus time 2 is equal to 12 minutes. But observe here, this is given, I have taken this one as x kilometers, and this speed is also kilometers per hour. Now, when I am showing this one kilometer and kilometers per hour, I cannot take this one into minutes there. When it is kilometer per hour, I need to convert that one into hours here. So now, I am just converting this one. So, 12 minutes in terms of hours, 12 by 60. 12 ones, 12 5. So, that is 1 by 5. Now, I am taking this one as 1 by 5. Then solve the equation. Solving equation is very simple here. I am taking the LCM here, that is 300. This is 6x minus 5x is equal to 1 by 5. Now, this is 5 ones, 5, 6, that is 60. Now, this 60 goes here. 6s minus 5x, x is equal to 60. Now, the distance between the office and home is 60 kilometers is the right answer. Right? All of you got the idea? This is the mathematical way of doing the things. Now, why can't we do this question in one step only? Easily you can do the question in one step. How to go for this one? We will use the regular unitary method for this one. What is a unitary method? Now, they have shown the difference in time there. The difference in time is 12 minutes as we have found out here. I use this one now to go for unitary method. What is the unitary method? I will show you for this case. Now, one speed is 50 kilometers per hour. Other speed is 60 kilometers per hour. Instead of taking this one as x, unitary method is substitution for algebra equations there. Without algebra equation, without taking x also, I can go for this one. Now in this case, let the distance be 300 kilometers. I am taking this one as 300. Why 300 only? Because 300 is divisible by 50 as well as 60, so that I can avoid the fraction here. I can avoid the fraction. Alright. So now this is 65. Okay, LCM you can take, right? So because when you take LCM, we can avoid the fractions in that one. That is easier for us. Time would be saved. Now here I am taking this distance as 300 kilometers. When distance is 300 kilometers, why I have taken this one 300 kilometers? Because finally I have to show the difference as 12 minutes. In unitary method, first imagine something and after that you can get one value. That value and the given value should be equalized with the unitary method. I will show you how that is. If the distance is 300 kilometers, obviously in first case the time taken, time 1 is distance by speed. That is 300 by 50, that is 6 hours. In the second case, time 2 is 300 divided by 60, that is 5 hours. Alright. Now, according to my imaginary figures, difference between the timing is 1 hour. Why I am taking difference? Because in the problem you have given the difference in timings, right? So now, 1 hour is the difference according to my imaginary figure. Here difference is 30 minutes. So since it is in 30 minutes, I am converting this one, since it is in 12 minutes, so now I am converting this one into minutes here. 1 hour is nothing but 60 minutes. According to my imaginary figures, difference is 60. According to the question, difference is 12. I am going to equalize these two with the help of the imaginary distance so that I can find out the actual distance. Now how to go for this one? I am writing here. Now when the difference is 60 minutes, the distance I have imagined 300 kilometers. When the difference is 12 minutes, what should be the actual distance? Difference is 60 according to imagination. Imagination, that is 300 kilometers. Difference is 12. What should be the actual distance? Now in this case, that is 12 by 60 into 300 here. The same thing you will get 60 kilometers. Hope you got the idea. Every time use unitary method for that to solve the question without taking pure mathematical help. So now the general method is being bypassed to go for this one by taking the unitary method. for this type of questions, direct formula is also there, right? What is direct formula? But direct formula, why I am not suggesting you direct formula? We can't say that every time the question is to be in this form. Anyway, note down the formula. If this is the case for this type of questions, the direct formula is in this way. First take the difference in timing. Difference in timing. Two timings are there, right? Difference in timing into speed 1 into speed 2 divided by difference in speed. Difference in speed, speed 1 and speed 2. You will get the answer directly. Here difference in timing is 12 minutes. Here it is 12 minutes. Since everything is in kilometers per hour and R, I am taking this one as R here. Difference is 1 by 5 into speed 1 is 50. Speed 1 is 60 divided by difference in speed is 10 here. Obviously here also you will get 60 kilometers as the distance. Hope you got the idea, right? This is how we need to go for this one. I have shown you 3 methods here, but I suggest you the middle one. The second one I suggest you with the help of the unitary method. Alright, now let us move on to the third problem. Go for this problem also. Take up this one. This is also very good question. Most commonly asked question in many competitive exams, right? Just read the question first of all. First of all, go for the question here. Alright. Now, the question is, a man covers a distance of 61 kilometers partly by foot and partly by bicycle in 9 hours. If his speed on foot is 4 kilometers per hour and bicycle is 9 kilometers per hour, how much distance he travelled on foot and how much by bicycle? This question can be solved with the mixture and alligation rules. Actually, mixture is not here, so we will solve this question by alligation rule. Within a maximum of 20-25 seconds, you can complete this one. I am not doing this question with the conventional method. Directly I am going with the shortcut with the alligation rule. What are alligation rules? In the last two videos we have discussed that one, right? Alligation rule. First take the mean value. What is the mean value? But this one, speed. This is speed. 4 kilometers per hour speed on foot. 9 kilometers per hour speed on bicycle. Take in this way. Or before going for the mean value, I am taking this one. On foot, 4 kilometers per hour. This is kilometers per hour. On bicycle, 9 kilometers per hour. Right? Now when it is speed, kilometers per hour. When it is speed, kilometers per hour. In rule of alligation, it should be kilometers per hour. It should be speed. This is speed. This is speed. It must be speed. What is the speed here? Overall speed. Total distance divided by total time. Now I am taking directly 61 by 9. This is the mean value. This is by foot and this is by bicycle. See, I am using the concept of alligation rules here, right? Now go for this one. If you go in this way, now this is 9 minus 61 by 9 and this is 61 by 9 minus 4 here. Alright, so this is 81, 20. This is 20 by 9. I am writing here 20 by 9 is to, it is 36. 61 minus 36 is 25. 25 by 9. Now the ratio is 20